Welcome to Ready to Mosh, a podcast all about rock, metal and alternative music. I'm Kev P.
And I'm Gem G. Each episode will bring you the latest news, talk about new releases, and review gigs and festivals that we've been to. There'll be a smattering of guest interviews and a lot of random chat.
As well as the podcast, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at Ready to Moshcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Ready to Mosh. We've made it to the 20s.
That was me banging my watch.
It was. 20 episodes in and we're still clonking on the table.
Still smashing shit around.
Yeah, still making random background noises.
I'm going to take my watch off. There we go.
Okay, there we are. Right, yes, episode 20. And this is a normal episode. It's been a while since we've done one of these because we've been pretty full on with the festival content. But we're back with a old school news reviews and a random ramble in the middle.
Yeah, just got to remember what order everything goes in.
Yes, so I think it goes a bit like this, and we start with the news. So I've got a few bits and you have.
Yeah, I've got some bits. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Right, so first one up is Hanoi Rocks are reforming for an anniversary concert. So they've made it clear it's not going to be a reunion.
It's a reformation.
It's a reformation just for this one thing.
What anniversary are they on?
It's going to be, they're doing it for the 60th birthday of Michael Monroe.
Oh, right. I thought it was going to be must be 40 odd years.
It is 40 years. Yeah, it's 40 years since they've done anything. So.
And he's only 60?
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't realise he was that young when they started.
Yeah, and it's the original lineup. Obviously, minus Razzle.
Obviously.
Who's no longer with us, which kind of led to the breakup of Hanoi Rocks anyway. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be a one-off show by the sounds of it. So it's not going to be a big tour and then an album and all of that. It sounds like it's just going to be a one-off.
Where he said one-off, do we know yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
I forgot to look for that.
I didn't know if it'd be like a hometown Finland or if it'd be US, UK.
I think it's US. I've got a feeling it's in the US.
Yeah, I imagine somewhere in LA, like the Rainbow or somewhere.
Yeah.
Whiskey. Would suit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would suit, yeah. I think they'd be far too big
I'm going to say, probably too small a venue for it, though. Okay, then, so first up from me is Ozzy's coming home.
He is, yeah.
Yes. Coming back to the UK are the Osbournes, and not just that, but it's going to be a series, so 20 years on-ish from the Osbournes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be called Home to Roost, and it's going to be on the BBC.
On the BBC?
On the BBC.
I was not expecting that.
Did you not? Yeah. BBC / iPlayer, it'll be available on from next year.
Oh, that's going to be a strange one. Oh, there's going to be so many complaints to the BBC about that.
Well, if you're not that way inclined to want to watch Ozzy, or you know what I mean,
this is Britain. People just like complaining about shit.
That is true. Anyway, I'll probably give it a watch.
Okay.
Just on a slightly related Osbourne note as well, just while we're on them, it's been announced that Kelly is expecting a baby boy with Sid Wilson. So they announced a couple of months ago now, I think, that they're expecting a baby. And they've just confirmed it's a boy, which I believe is due by the end of the year.
Okay.
So you know that will be featuring in the docu-series.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. Sid Wilson just knocking around Ozzy's home. That just sounds weird.
Random.
Yeah. I've got news of a new album that's expected out this year in November.
Yeah.
From Nickelback, who are the Coldplay of heavy metal.
That's interesting, because I have actually got a mini review on the single from that.
All right.
In the next segment.
Yeah, is that coming later on?
I'll leave it for the review section, otherwise I'll just lose where my brain's at.
Okay, well, interesting, because the new album's out in November, does make me wonder if they're going to be a possible headliner for Download.
Really?
Yeah, because there's been a lot of support for them online.
They are we know they're a Marmite band.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, if Biffy didn't go down well, then what would the reaction be to Nickelback?
But you see, I think if it is going to be Nickelback, that'd be quite a Sunday band. You know, Biffy was a Sunday band.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
And a selection of bands, it seems to have been recently that a lot of people have left early. Kind of more than usual. Yeah. And I wonder if maybe Nickelback could be the Sunday band.
Could be. I have seen Nickelback live.
I've not.
I've got to be honest, I don't remember a lot about it.
Who were they supporting?
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. What I remember, I think they were good.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll wait and see on that one then.
Yeah.
Right, this next one, it relates to an item, a news piece, if you will, that we had a few months ago now that turned out to be a non-news item, the ongoing saga of our Rammstein touring next year.
Yeah, so I remember that. They are touring next year.
They are touring next year in Europe. They've confirmed it. Dates have been announced. starting on the 22nd of May. The first one, I think, is Lithuania, right the way through to the 4th of August. The last one announced Belgium, and various countries in between, the usual kind of France, Germany, obviously, Spain, Netherlands, Switzerland, I think. You know, the usual places.
Surprised the Swiss will allow them with all the noise they make and all the pyros they've got.
True. Interestingly, at the moment, there is a gap of download weekend.
Ooh.
So download next year is the 8th to the 11th. They are playing on the 9th. No, sorry, they're playing, I think, on the 8th, Rammstein or somewhere else. But then they have nothing up until the 13th or 14th.
Yeah, they're definitely playing download.
So there is a download-shaped gap at the moment.
What date's the first day of download? What's the Thursday?
The Thursday would be the 9th, I think. Because it's 8th to the... No, the 8th will be the Thursday, won't they? Because 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So when they say download is these dates, they don't usually include the pre-camping dates as...
So that'll be the 10th then they'll play. They'll headline the 10th.
Friday? Or Saturday, sorry.
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday.
They'll headline Saturday the 10th. Nickelback Sunday the 11th.
Well, this has put our previously recorded predictions up in
Metallica
the
Friday,
air.
Ghost Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I've heard worse lineups, but we'll wait and see because that elusive first download announcement still hasn't happened.
No, despite the fake post, was it a post?
I think it was a fake Twitter post last week that said there was going to be an announcement on Monday, as in the one just gone, which was the 5th, I think.
Yeah, it was the 5th.
Yeah, that turned out to be fake. Not even an announcement about an announcement.
No.
But hopefully soon.
Yeah. On festivals, actually, the Slam Dunk lineups started to appear. So they've made a big announcement. Like, we've not done Slam Dunk, but I would really like to do this one. There's a lot of bands that I'd want to see here. I mean, I know we've seen a lot of these bands live anyway, but I'd love to see them again. Zebrahead, Trashboat, Holding Absence, Malevolence are there. Creeper, I know you're a fan, I'm not. Bowling for Soup and Offspring, who I've never seen, I would love to see.
Yeah, they're the two that really stand out for me. Like I said, there's a lot of bands we like, but we've already seen.
Yeah, and the other headline band's Enter Shikari.
Yeah, who we love anyway.
Yeah.
But definitely Offspring and Bowling for Soup I feel like I should see at some point.
I need to watch both of those bands. I still expect Offspring to be at download, but, you know, I would love to see them.
If they're at Slam Dunk a couple of weeks before, would they do download as well?
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah. It kind of makes sense to do the circuit, doesn't it?
But is it not in the kind of the restrictions of download that they're not allowed?
No, because it'll miss it altogether, because Slam Dunk's right on the outskirts of Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how far the
I don't think it hits that far north. It's mainly across the Midlands. Basically, the circle stretches across the Midlands. It doesn't really affect too much going too far north or too far south.
Well, I'd be happy if they're at download. What, is it me?
Yes,
okay.
It's you.
I didn't know if you'd finished.
I've finished.
Right, okay, my next one is a ghost-related item, because I feel it's been a few episodes since we've mentioned them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a few weeks ago, they went absolutely viral thanks to TikTok and Stranger Things. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
No. I'll fill you in then. So, obviously, you know that Kate Bush running up the hill, hill. Whatever hill. And Metallica all went crazy because they were in Stranger Things. Well, Ghost weren't in Stranger Things, but somebody edited some clips from Stranger Things with Mary on a Cross as the music to it, and it just went crazy, basically.
Okay.
And then since then, people have made other videos and used the song, and it's actually put them, maybe not now, it might have dropped out a bit, but they were like in the top 10 globally streaming songs on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
For Mary on a Cross. In the millions. It's had kind of billions of views on TikTok.
That's insane.
It also scored them their first UK top 40. They got to number 33. That's how much it was then getting streamed as a result of this.
I'm surprised they've not had any mainstream success, to be honest.
Not in terms of singles, albums, but not singles. So yeah, that was their first UK top 40. And since that, they've released a slowed down reverb version of Mary on a Cross.
Well, they've got to milk that money cow, haven't they?
To be honest, I'm not as keen on it.
No?
I know, shock horror, ghost song.
You don't?
I wouldn't say I don't like it. I'm just not as struck on it. It doesn't tickle me internally as much as the original, shall we say.
So it's almost like a cover version of their own song.
It is. It's almost like, can you remember in the olden days when you had your turntable on the wrong speed? It's a bit like that. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer the original.
Yeah.
So yeah, the world went a bit ghost crazy. There's been a bit of a mixed response in the ghost fan world, apparently. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if it brings them new fans, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And just a little add-on ghost-related item to that. You've seen this anyway, but
you showed it. Yeah, you showed me, didn't you?
One of the Nameless Ghouls on the US tour that they're on at the moment had a bit of a fall off one of the on-stage risers with his guitar. So yeah, it was Jutty Taylor, and he did tweet afterwards that he meant to do it.
Of course he did, yeah.
Yeah, he came quite a cropper, but he did carry on. Is that it for the news?
That's it for the news.
Oh, okay, that's it for the news then.
Right, time for the review section. I've got a couple of singles I want to talk about and an album.
Same. I've got, a couple of singles. I think there's one single that we've both listened to, or possibly two.
Yeah, actually I've got 3 singles. I've just realised. Yeah, 3 singles and an album.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. My first one then, we'll start with the singles, is Massive Wagons featuring Benji Webb, Generation Prime.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts?
Catchy little ditty now. At first I wasn't sure, and you've only listened to it...
I've listened to it a few times.
Yeah, has it grown on you yet?
No.
Give it time.
I feel like I should love it, but I'm just not feeling it.
No, the first few times I listened to it, I was like, this sounds like a Massive Wagon song and a Skindred song, but they don't go together, but I feel like they do now.
It just reminds me of, do you remember that craze in the 90s where everything had kind of like a reggae mix to it?
Yeah.
I feel like it's that.
Bit of Pata Banton or something.
yeah, like, that kind of random sort of... There'd just be random pieces of reggae in songs, and you just go, why is that there?
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but the more you listen to it, the more it just kind of blends and sounds right.
Yeah, it's probably just going to take some listening. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it at the moment.
Yeah, but I do love the whole, I don't know what the word is, the message of the song, the...
Ethos, the vibe.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Generation Prime, basically, that we're all obsessed with. Amazon Prime, aren't we?
Oh, yeah?
You want all our deliveries yesterday and all of that. So, yeah, I love that kind of vibe of it as well, which I think is how the whole album is based around. Well, not just based around that, but it's very kind of social issues at the moment.
Yeah.
But they have now released the video. I think it was released yesterday. And it's great. So watch the video. It's really good.
Okay. I'll have to give that a watch over the weekend.
Yeah, you've got Baz in, I don't know if this is intentional, but he's channeling major Ramsey Nesbitt vibes in it.
Right, so he's got a vest on.
Younger listeners may not know who Ramsey Nesbitt is. But yeah, kind of slobbed out, surrounded by upside down smiley Amazon boxes, but then you've got sections of the band playing, obviously Benji's in it too, so definitely recommend giving the video a watch as well. Right. So yes, I do like that one, but will agree it is a grower. Okay,
next one is the Shikari Wargasm single, The Void Stares Back. This is growing on me a little. You see, I wasn't a fan the first time, but it's taken a little warming up, but it's getting there. I don't think older Shikari fans are going to enjoy it, I'll be honest. And there's a lot of, especially with the Wargasm pieces in it, I don't think they're potentially going to like that. I think newer Shikari fans are going to love it.
Yeah.
And it feels quite Prodigy heavy as well. It's one of the things that kind of like stands out straight away. It reminds me of kind of like mid-late 90s Prodigy.
Yeah, I've only listened to it a couple of times and I thought Prodigy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it's grown on me yet. I'll need to give it a few more listens, I think.
Yeah, so it sounds like I need to listen to the Wagons and Benji one and you need to listen to the Wargasm and Shikari one.
We'll do a swap.
We'll do a swap on that, yeah. But I'm feeling that more than the other one.
Yeah.
It is a grower, but like I say, I don't think older Shikari fans will like it all.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, since they did... The
Sights.
That's the one, that album.
Yeah.
Brain's gone blank. But yeah, a lot of fans weren't keen on that direction from there, really. So.
But that's the stuff I really love. I think that's some of the better stuff that they've done. Like, I can get on board with this, but I don't think older fans will.
Yeah. My next one, as previously mentioned, is Nickelback.
Okay, I've not listened to this.
I've only listened to it a couple of times, literally, just before this, because I was reading all the headlines going, oh, Nickelback have gone heavy, and I was intrigued. Yeah, it is a heavier sound for Nickelback. I'm not massively familiar with Nickelback's back catalogue, apart from the ones that everyone knows, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some heavy, chuggy guitars going on in it. My initial thoughts were kind of Metallica Load-Reload era in terms of the guitars, kind of sound. Yeah. But then, as I listened to it again, I feel like there's almost a hint of Black Label Society in it.
What, kind of a little bit stonery?
Kind of.
Thick kind of like bass.
Yeah, kind of thick guitars and vocally almost, I'm sure. Definitely reminds me of someone, and I feel like it is Zakk Wylde.
That means I'm going to have to listen to it to tell you.
Yeah, listen to it and let me know what you think. But yeah, it's definitely the heavier sound of Nickelback.
I didn't know they had one, but okay.
Well, neither did I. That's why I was so intrigued. I thought, I'll just give it a listen so we can mention it. Definitely not saying I like it, not saying I dislike it. Probably not going to become a Nickelback fan, but you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. But, yeah, different one I thought I'd mention. I don't think we've ever mentioned them before.
No, I don't think we have.
Twice in one episode.
Next one I've got up is the new single from Those Damn Crows.
Same.
Which we heard at Stone Dead Festival.
We did. We heard it live.
That was an exclusive, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
First time they played that live.
Yeah. Shane was very excited to tell us about it and they've done a video and everything.
And what do you think?
I really like it.
I do.
I think I was trying to think how to describe it. I think almost like a bigger, heading towards an arena sound behind it, that kind of...
Yeah, I get what you mean by that, yeah. And it's almost got not an industrial twang to it, but you know, the kind of like the distortion that you used to get through through the late 90s, like bands like Filter.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of feel to it, and it works really well.
Yeah.
And if this is the direction that they're going in, it's going to be great, because they're going to get bigger and bigger. This has been my favourite single that I've been listening to over the last week or so.
Yeah, I think it's mine because it's one I instantly liked. Whereas the other ones of
the Growers,
this was instantly like, it's just got, just like a bigger sound and a nice big chorus and some good melodies to it.
It's just fuller, isn't it? It's not, although it's still similar to the early stuff, it's different.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't think how to describe it. It's not like I've gone like on a major tangent with the sound, but it is, I think it's like...
they've kind of branched off from where they first were. And they've kind of evolved.
Yeah, that's what I put down. Evolved sound.
They've kind of evolved the sound. This is what it's become. And it's if the album's going to be like this, I can't wait, because I really want to listen to that.
I think that's out in February.
Yeah, it's a long wait, but it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that.
And also, I don't know if you read this anywhere, but I just spotted it. The video that they've done was done by Loki Films, as we discussed with Lake Malice in our Lake Malice interview episode, which if you've not listened to, go back and listen to it, because
it's a very good one.
But it's a Loki Films video. I've not seen it yet, but it is available. I just didn't get a chance before we were
right, I didn't know that.
This.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a watch then.
Yeah.
I love the videos that Loki Films have done for different artists. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out later.
Right, go on to albums then. Mine is Five Finger Death Punch Afterlife.
I'll be honest, I forgot this had been released.
Yeah, I had. Just to jump in as well, obviously it's been a while since we've done some reviews, so some of these might be a bit older than what we would normally review.
Yeah.
I think this was out a couple of weeks ago now.
Okay.
I would say, overall, it's similar to, if you, probably a couple of months ago now, we reviewed their single.
Yes.
And we kind of just went, it's okay.
It's a Five Finger Death Punch. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, my overall opinion of the album is that, really.
What, kind of middle of the road for Five Finger?
Yeah, I think so. I've listened to it a few times a couple of weeks ago when it first got released, and then I listened to it, kind of skipped through it again today, just as a refresher. But, I'd say it's got the generic kind of formula that they have, in that they've got majority kind of heavy songs and then 2 or 3 slower melodic ones.
Are there any kind of like standout tracks, do you think?
Well, funny you should ask, because I've noted a few down.
Okay.
Some of them kind of had it on in the background to listen to. And the first time it was just there, and then as I kind of kept it going on a loop, others stood out. So, the first track, that's actually really grown on me. That's kind of, it is your typical Death Punch kind of punchy chorus, and then punchy verses and then a melodic chorus.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Kind of fast and chuggy, slows down, but that's really cool. Title track Afterlife, that's number 2 that comes in. Again, I'd say it's on a bit slower side, but again, that one's grown on me.
Yeah.
The first one that actually stood out to me is IOU, which is about halfway through. That was the first one, probably on the first listen. I was like, I really like that one. That's got quite catchy tune to it. One in particular I don't like is Judgment Day. It's almost like a really almost kind of rappy, gangster rap kind of sound to it. And I think I got to that one and I was like, I'm really not sure about this. But then IOU follows it and I was like, actually that's better.
Yeah.
So on the whole, it's pretty standard Death
Not
Punch
great,
album.
but...
Yeah, you can listen to it. It's not offensive to the ears, but it's not a standout. So I would rate it probably a 7 out of a 10.
Okay.
Kind of a mid-league, mid-table team. It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, by all means, give it a listen. I'd like to hear what you think of it. But yeah, the single, I think that's about 3rd track in. That kind of, you can see how that fits into the album. And I definitely think in terms of that single choice, there are other ones that would have been better. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do as a single next, or if they've released another single from it yet. But yeah, it's skippable but listenable.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've been listening to the new Megadeth album, which is The Sick, the Dying and the Dead.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like Megadeth.
No.
But you should give this a listen, because there are going to be some songs on here you really like.
Really?
Yeah, I just know that you'll like some of these. This is actually, I didn't realise how many it was. It's Megadeth's 16th album.
Wow.
That's a hell of a catalogue.
Yeah, I don't think I realised they'd got that many.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they've been around, forever. But yeah, it's 16 albums deep now. And this one, it did take a few listens to get hooked, but once it kind of gets you, it gets you. And the intro to it is actually is kind of possibly unintentionally funny.
Mm.
So there's, do you remember Monty Python? I think it was in, which one? I think it was Holy Grail, where they're walking through the streets going, bring out your dead, bring out your dead.
Yeah.
Imagine that, the Bring Out Your Dead piece, at the beginning of the album.
Really?
Yeah, so it's kind of like unintentionally funny. Obviously, if you remember that scene from Monty Python.
Mm.
And yeah, there are some really, really great tracks on here. So the first track, which is by the name of the same album, The Sick, the Dying and the Dead, that's really, really good. Second one is Life in Hell, which is got some it's a really good fast thrash song. Really impressed with that one. And the third one, randomly, called Night Stalkers, has got Ice-T on it. It comes in at around 3 minutes. And I'll be honest, I don't know why, because I love Ice-T, I love Body Count, but it doesn't work on this. I just don't get why. It just doesn't work with Dave Mustaine.
I can't imagine it working.
No,
I've not heard it, but on paper that wouldn't work.
No, it really, really doesn't. And then the album does slip off a little bit through kind of like tracks 4 and 5. So not a big fan of those. But then number 6 is a track that I think you'll like, called Killing Time, which opens like Def Leppard.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that might be a selling point.
Yeah, so this is why I think you'll like it. And this song actually really picks the album back up again. And yeah, so I think you really need to listen to this. The 7th track as well. So I've got a lot of really standout tracks on this. The 7th track is... Oh, no, sorry. I think it's... I got that wrong. It wasn't Killing Time. That's the Def Leppard sounding one. It's Junkie. So Junkie's that one. Track 7, Psychopathy. It reminds me a lot of Public Enemy number 1. Yeah, you remember the video. Yeah, really love that one. Track 8, Killing Time, has got an incredible chorus on it. I absolutely love it. It's kind of like from track 6 onwards, I can't stop listening to it. Track 9 as well, another one. Imagine Alice Cooper on speed.
Okay.
But I think you'll like it. It really works. Yeah, it's another great track. And the last one as well is fantastic. It ends it's almost like a party note. I mean, I don't know what was going through Dave Mustaine's head when he kind of wrote all this, because this was probably written during COVID. But, when you got songs like The Sick, the Dying and the Dead, Sacrifice, Killing Time, God knows what headspace he was in when he wrote all this stuff. The last track, The Planet's on Fire, brackets Burning Hell, has got Sammy Hagar on it.
Okay, I can see that working.
Yeah, he really does. And imagine it kind of like being... If Dave Mustaine wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show... That's the best way to describe that track. Okay.
You're kind of selling it to me then.
Yeah, and I actually think this is a real return to form for Megadeth. I think they've maybe done one album in kind of like the last 10 years that's been really strong, but this is right up there. This is really up there. Okay. And it's kind of pushing its way up to becoming one of my favourite Megadeth albums.
Okay, I will... try and remember to give it a listen.
I will make you listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose that wraps the reviews up, does it?
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time for Rock the Week, when we look back on this week in rock and metal history. Been a while since I've had to try and say that sentence. So we're looking back on the week of the 12th to the 18th of September. I've got a couple of album-related ones and then a couple of general ones.
And I've got a couple of albums too.
Okay, so I'll start with my albums then. So on the 12th of September 1989, Aerosmith released their 10th studio album, Pump.
Yeah, I can't remember what was on that.
That was, well, not all the... I'm not going to give you the whole playlist. Songs to know. Love in an Elevator.
Yeah.
Janie's Got a Gun.
It's good.
And I think Young Lust is on that one.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a good album. Is a good album.
And what's the other one that I'm thinking of then?
The one that was out after that, I think it was, Get a Grip. Are you thinking of that one?
Probably.
Udders.
Yeah.
And then that's probably one of my other favourite Aerosmith albums, I would say.
Eat the Rich.
Yeah, that's on there. I think Living on the Edge is on that one.
Yeah, they are good
And
songs.
Crying.
That's an awful song.
Really? I thought you were going to say
that.
awesome song.
Oh, no. Really don't like that. That's when they started moving into that poppy era.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I do like it, though.
Yeah.
Soft spot for that one. But it is an overplayed video.
Yeah.
Definitely. On the 17th of September 1991, Guns N' Roses released Use Your Illusions 1 and 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Both got... Well, no, they didn't both get to number 1 because they can't both get to number 1. They were numbers 1 and 2 respectively in the charts. But which way round? Do you remember?
1 and 2.
So 1 and 2 at 2, are you saying?
Yeah, because November Rain's on number 1.
It is, but wrong.
Okay.
Number 2 got to number 1, number 1 got to number 2.
Which chart is that?
That's the US album charts.
Okay.
And that's obviously in the first week of release, what they did.
I wonder if it was
know.
different in the UK.
Could have been. I didn't think to look up, actually.
Because we're British and we do things properly here.
We do. So things must be in orderly queue.
Yeah. So I'll have to have a look at that, see which way around it was in the UK.
Yeah. Or it could be quite interesting. Just going off on a tiny tangent now. As a little study, you could do a spreadsheet in all sorts of different countries around the world. What order they got to?
Yeah.
What does it say about that country? What your favourite Use Your Illusion is? Anyway, moving on to a couple of general things that happened this week. In 1983, on the 18th of September, Kiss appeared for the first time without their makeup on.
Okay.
And it was on an MTV interview to promote Lick It Up.
Which they played at Download.
They did.
In makeup. And I've read somewhere that they wouldn't play non-paint period music anymore.
I've read that as well.
In the live shows?
Yeah.
They would only play stuff from the days of paint.
From the days of face paint.
Yeah, as it were.
Yeah, I've read that too as well, actually. So,
but it was the last tour, so fuck it.
Do what they want, don't they? It's Kiss.
It is.
Are you going to tell them they can't do that?
Like, yeah, because Gene and Paul really get what my input is.
You never know. Right, my last one is 13th of September 1991. Geffen threw a launch party for Nirvana for the release of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
And that isn't the story itself. The twist on the tale is Nirvana got thrown out of their own party for having a food fight.
That's a lot of food to move to get thrown out of your own party, and there's a lot of things they could have done worse than that.
Yes, to both of those. I mean, it's not just one sausage roll or vol au vent flinging across the room.
Across the room, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the extent to which
I would
the
have
food
loved
was
to have
flung.
seen what they did to do that.
Yeah, have a look. See if there's any pictures anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, thrown out of their own party.
Interesting.
Rock and roll.
Right, well, I've got the number 1 album this week in 1998, which was Follow the Leader by Korn.
Okay.
Which was a pretty good album. It's Korn's 3rd studio album. And it also got to number 2 in the UK albums chart, just to give you an idea of how big that album was.
Yeah.
It had 2 big singles on it. The biggest being, obviously, Freak on a Leash.
Of course, yeah.
Or Kerrang's Every Other Video at the time.
Yeah.
And pretty much still is now. And it was nominated for 9 MTV Music Awards.
Okay.
So that was quite an achievement. And it also had another big single on it, Got the Life, which I think is, for me, is actually a better song. I think it's a better single completely. But obviously the Freak on a Leash everybody goes crazy for.
Yeah.
I think it was the video. It's got to have been the video and everybody just got hooked.
Probably did, yeah. It's just one of those, all bands have certain songs where the video is just constant on Kerrang. And
I think that's what it was with them.
yeah.
10 years down the line, there's another new metal album, which was All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot.
Not my favourite Slipknot album.
No, my least favourite as well. And it's the last album with the original lineup on it. And it's the only album that has all 9 members writing.
Okay, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, which explains a lot.
Yeah, I didn't realise that, actually.
No, I until I was reading about it, I didn't realise.
Definitely explains if you've got that many people inputting into
those
the
many
music,
brains, yeah. And everybody approaching it from different ways.
Say different priorities for what they want it to sound like. And...
Yeah, which is why it's probably a mess. And the big single off that was Psychosocial.
Which is the best song on the album, I would say.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. It is the best of a bad bunch, I suppose. Yeah, it's just a strange one. And then, obviously, after that, Paul Gray died a couple of years later.
He did, yeah.
Just before the next album. And then, sadly, Joey after that.
Yeah, well, Joey left.
Well, Joey left, sorry, yeah. Joey left the band.
A little while later.
Yeah, it was a little while later, but Joey was, kicked out of the band, wasn't he?
Essentially, yeah.
So that album's just a really odd one. Now I know that it kind of things do make a lot more sense about it. Why it's so patchy in places and just not right.
Skippable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very skippable.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all you've got for today?
Yeah.
Okay, that wraps up this week in history then, which is now in itself history.
Right, so we were chatting a couple of weeks ago about merch.
We were, and decided to make it a feature.
Yeah, some of the random tat that's out there from many of the bands. And we thought it'd be interesting to see what you can get.
Yes.
And I've got a feeling this is going to come back around at some point as well.
Yeah, we said it's probably going to be almost like a sub-series.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Because obviously new stuff's coming out all the time, so every few months we can have a trawl along band website merch stores.
Yeah, and there's going to be new bands out, and or bands become more established and get the opportunity to sell more crap, for want of a better word.
Obviously, the C word coming up, there's going to be a lot more things for sale, potentially.
Yeah. Don't know why cunt's coming up, but... Right, so let's kick off with a band that's not technically a rock band, kind of more of an indie band.
Yeah.
And I've got tattoos, you've got tattoos, but would you like a Van Weezer temporary tattoo?
No, thank you.
Are you sure? It's got a bit of a Van Halen feel to it.
Maybe then.
Yeah. Temporary tattoos, like when was the last time anybody had a temporary tattoo over the age of 10?
Yeah, I was probably about 8.
Yeah, it's really weird. I can't believe they're selling just tat like that, to be fair.
That is an odd one. Not one I've come across in my trawls through the ethers of merch stores.
Okay. So what have you come across?
My first one is from Behemoth.
Mm-hmm. They do sell some shit.
Do they?
Their merch store's mental.
I didn't think it was too bad compared to a couple of others I've looked at. Mm-hmm. But anyway, one item I did pick out in particular that I quite like and may purchase myself one day is a glass coffee jar.
Right.
But just to add on to that, they do actually sell their own coffee beans. So the idea is that you buy your coffee beans and you've got a lovely, nice glass Behemoth jar to store them in, which would look quite nice in your kitchen.
Yeah, I get that.
So when we say we've found a lot of tat, I also found some pretty cool stuff that I wouldn't mind owning myself. So yeah, that's my first one.
All right, well, number 2 for me is a band that we wanted to see at Bloodstock. I think it was. Gua.
Gua, 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 gua.
So they sell vapes, ashtrays, CBD cigarettes, and I just wasn't expecting to come across it on a website for a band as merch.
No, again, not one I came across.
No, so, I mean, it definitely explains a lot about them, but, like vapes and ashtrays, and it's just a little bit of a curveball, that one.
Yeah, it's different, I suppose.
Yeah, there's not many bands doing that sort of stuff from what I've seen, so...
No, and given how big vaping has got, I'm actually quite surprised. Or maybe other bands don't want to.
I'm surprised Ghost haven't done it. So you've got the ghost effect smoke.
Well, I didn't spot it, but more about them later.
All right, then.
Okay, my next one is a band that we love a lot.
We love a lot of bands.
We do. We've gone on their merch site various times and marvelled at the daft things that they sometimes have on there.
Right.
But I have to say this time, there was only one item that particularly stood out to bring onto the episode. So I'm talking about Massive Wagons.
Oh, yeah. They do sell some stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And they sell a stick of rock. You can get yourself a Massive Wagons peppermint stick of rock.
But what would you do with the stick? That's the thing with that sort of thing. What would you do with it?
Well, you'd eat it. What else do you do with a stick of rock?
Well, that's kind of what I'm alluding to. It's like...
Oh, you could just have it on a shelf. I mean, sticks of rock, I don't believe, go off easily. It would probably last forever because it's just pure sugar, isn't it?
It is pure sugar, yeah. So as long as it's sealed, it'll be fine.
So, one for the bookshelf.
Yes, random stick of rock.
Yeah.
Where have you been on your holiday this year? Massive Wagons.
Yeah, exactly. I am sure they will be featuring in future episodes anyway.
Okay, well, my third one is one of the biggest bands in music, Metallica. They sell the biggest pile of tat I've ever seen in my life.
In some ways that surprises me, and in some ways it doesn't.
All right. Well, you can get a Metallica Monopoly set.
That's not too unusual. There's a lot of novelty Monopoly out there.
Okay. But have you ever had a Metallica Cluedo set?
No, I've not seen any other Cluedo sets apart from
there's
Cluedo.
A Metallica one. There is a Metallica one, and it's on their website.
Okay. Have they got...
And you can buy them both as a bundle.
Can you? Have they got Game of Life coming soon?
Yeah, so you can get those as a pack. There's also a Metallica turntable, which at least is kind of musically related.
I guess, yeah. Is it like a proper old school turntable, or is it like a Bluetooth speaker
like
kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an updated version.
Yeah, a modern one, if you will.
Yeah, you can have a Metallica watch.
I have seen other watches about, I think.
Metallica earplugs.
No, but kind of makes sense, I guess. Protect your tabs and all that.
Yeah, I suppose to a point. A Metallica camping chair.
Again, would fit for a festival or...
But what else do you need at a festival? Keep out of the sun. You would need a Metallica canopy, or a gazebo, if you will.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a new one.
So they've got that as well.
If you're allowed to put it up.
If you're allowed to put it up,
well,
yeah, that's the thing.
Always restrictions on gazebos.
And then the final one from their offerings is a Metallica hockey puck.
Obviously.
Because what says Metallica more than ice and hockey?
To be honest, that going back to wagon stick of rock, what are you going to do with a hockey puck?
Oh, well, I used to have some hockey pucks.
Yeah, but you got them at a hockey match.
From hockey games, yeah.
Exactly. That makes sense. It was part of the game.
An experience, yeah.
An experience, but...
Yeah, I don't see Lars and James playing much ice hockey, to be fair.
I mean, some of these random things I kind of get, like lots of bands do them, like plushies or pop things, what do you call them, funky pop things. So people collect an item.
Yeah.
Like a fridge magnet almost. Do you know what I mean? So you've got all different ones. But yeah, that's just...
That is random.
That is for your enthusiast who will just buy anything, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Metallica have identified a niche crowd that want hockey pucks.
Yeah, well, curious to know what the sales are like. Are you done on Metallica?
That was the final one for Metallica.
I've got Ghost next, and they do have a wide variety of items on their merch store, as you can imagine. Mm-hmm. I've picked 3 out for today's episode.
Okay, and what they've got?
And these are all quite random, not seen anywhere else. First up is a nice practical item, a Papa 4 robe blanket.
A dressing gown?
No, it's an actual robe blanket. I don't think it's got a belt like a dressing gown. So it's just like a big cosy blanket with a hood, and it's got the pattern that Papa Emeritus 4 wears on the current tour. Well, he wears a few gowns, I know, but one in particular modelled it on. So yeah, that looks nice and cosy. The next one is a paint your own Papa statue.
Sounds awful.
So basically it does what it says on the tin, this one. It's a 5-inch statue. And that is some geese flying over.
What the fuck?
Geese on their way to bed. Anywho, Yeah, a 5-inch statue, and it comes with 8 paints and a brush. And yeah, you can basically just paint it yourself to obviously do your face paint, but it's the whole shebang. You can paint his hair, his robes, his clothes, and just,
Ghost meets Dungeons and Dragons.
So yeah, £35 for a little bit of ghost art and craft.
Jesus.
But something different. Reminds me of like in the, I don't know, 80s or 90s, you used to be able to get like paint your own garden gnome sets. Yeah. Anyway, and my last one for ghost is a sermon spirit board.
A Ouija board.
Yeah, basically. So this one is, it's a Ouija board, and you get a Cardinal Copia planchette that you can use to summon some ghostly spirits.
Right.
But, it kind of, it fits the ghost.
It fits their theme, I suppose.
Theme, yeah.
Yeah. It's absolute tat, but it fits their theme.
So anyway, they're my 3 ghost items to bring to the episode.
Right. Well, I've got a really cool one for number 4 and a bit of tat from the same band. So the piece of tat...
Which band are we on?
Oh, yes. I should probably tell you who the band is. That would help.
Maybe next time, though, we could take it in turns. We could describe the item and guess the band.
Guess who it is. That's an idea.
There we go. Anyway.
So the band is Rammstein.
Oh, that's interesting. I've also got Rammstein next.
All right. Well, my first one of their 2 pieces is a license plate holder.
Oh, okay. I think I saw that.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick it out.
Don't get why you'd want that.
No, is it even legal?
Well, that's the other thing.
Well,
I suppose it depends on which country you're in. Because each country's got its own driving laws.
I suppose, yeah.
So, yeah, but I found that really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of the next step up from people having little stickers on the cars, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah. Thought that was an odd one. But we've all gone to buy merch before.
Yes, we have.
And what's the issue with the merch? They just hold it up in front of you. So you've just got to hope that it's the right size.
Oh, like when your T-shirts, you mean?
Yeah, so like your T-shirts, your jumpers, hoodies, whatever.
Yeah.
What if you went to Berlin to the Rammstein store? Really? Yep, they have their own shop. It looks really cool.
Oh, like a football merch store, I guess, at the ground.
Yeah, pretty much, I suppose, yeah. It's it looks like quite an old building, but...
Yeah. I like the idea of that. I would like to go to that.
Yeah, I suppose it's something to do in Berlin.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are many other things to do in Berlin. But, yeah, from a music point of view, that's quite an interesting...
It is. I've not come across a band doing that before.
No,
an actual
I've
shop,
not.
I don't think.
I mean, I suppose there are only a few bands that could probably do it.
And I guess it might be like a hometown.
It could be, yeah.
Would make more sense, wouldn't it?
But you can try all that shit on in the Rammstein store.
Okay.
I keep saying Rammstein instead of Rammstein. Rammstein, yeah.
Are they your picks of the Rammstein?
They are my picks.
Okay, I've actually got quite a few.
Okay.
Most of these are kind of home and garden related items.
Right.
I went for, because they've got obviously all your different sections on there, so that was what intrigued me the most. So first up, you can get a Rammstein logo wall shelf.
Right.
So obviously your Rammstein logo, it's a big, don't know what it's made of, some kind of wooden thing, probably MDF.
I feel like it should always be metal.
You would think, wouldn't you? But I'm pretty sure it was wooden. So you can just have that plonked up on your wall. I don't know if it comes flat packed or if it's ready built, but that will cost you €620.
No thanks.
Yeah. I did note a couple of prices on these ones just because I was like, really, do people buy that?
Yeah, who's getting this shit?
Again, well, people probably have shrines to Rammstein. A ram shrine, if you will.
A ram shrine, yeah.
Moving on then, another item I noticed is what they actually, they term it a radio. I'm doing inverted commas. But it's actually just a smartphone speaker, but it looks like an old kind of vintage radio.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I think it was kind of a woodeny one. Looked quite cool if you want a speaker that's just
looks a bit different.
Older, yeah, vintage style. Just popping out to the garden for the next item. This might go with your Metallica gazebo. You can get a Rammstein fire torch, as in a big metal. I think this one must be metal.
Oh, right, okay.
Kind of, think a small Olympic torch kind of item. Yeah.
Of course.
Which looks quite cool.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah. Sits with their stage show, doesn't it? €145 for that one, if you'd like one.
No thanks.
Okay. Right, and then finally, just moving up to the bathroom, You can get a Ramstein basin plug. In fact, not a Ramstein basin plug. They actually come in 2 designs, so you can have one for your sink and one for your bath.
What is the fucking point of that? That is next level shit.
Yeah, but, you could have your wall shelf on and then your bath plugs, Ramstein bathroom. And they're only €12 each, so that is a bargain.
€12? Jesus Christ.
Don't know what your average plug cost is, but anyway.
It's not €12, I'll tell you that now, no.
Right, and then finally we have some soap that you can also put in your Ramstein bathroom.
More pointless stuff. Yeah.
Let me finish on this one though. You can get some normal blocks of soap. Yeah. But you can also get a 20 centimetre penis-shaped soap, which comes with a suction cap at the bottom so it can stick on your sink.
Right. I read that Ramstein do a range of dildos, but I couldn't find them on the website.
I didn't see them. I actually, when I saw the soap, thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Obviously very similar looking.
I saw them do like a range of 5 or 6 different colours, but I couldn't find them on the site anywhere. So unless it's something that they did as a limited run or as a promo for something.
Could have been.
I don't know.
But anyway, if you fancy a Schlagbaum soap, vegan and cruelty-free, €24.
Wow.
And that's my little tour of the Ramstein store.
Okay, well, my last one is Aussie.
Oh, so is mine.
There we go. Right, okay. So my Aussie is a brilliant bad taste piece of shit.
Okay. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And it's a soft toy bat that has a detachable head.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, quite like that. Or maybe I don't. I'm not sure.
Well, where do
you
sit on the fence for that one?
I'm not sure, actually.
Oh. But yeah, you can buy yourself your very own detachable headed bat.
Okay. Different.
Yeah. Can't believe he's found a way to make money out of that.
I can't. Well, Sharon's probably.
Sharon's probably. Yeah.
Aussie probably hasn't got a clue he's selling them. Right, my Aussie item. I wasn't actually looking at Aussie. This came to me as a sponsored ad on Facebook. Right. So obviously my phone's been listening to me looking at other band websites.
Yeah.
And this is actually on Amazon. It got promoted. Cue another advert popping up. This is an Aussie harmonica, which comes in a coffin-shaped box.
Has Aussie ever played a harmonica?
No idea. Has he?
I can't think of him playing a harmonica on anything.
No, off the top of my head, I can't think. Sabbath, maybe, had... I feel like there is definitely at least a Sabbath song with an intro.
But would it have been Aussie?
Probably not.
No.
But anyway.
Okay.
You could get an Aussie harmonica if you would like one.
Lots and lots of random crap.
Yes. It's like going through the middle of Aldi or the middle of Lidl, innit?
Yeah, it is.
One thing I did note as well, actually, when I was just looking through, not just these bands, but other band websites. Yeah. Pretty much every band has a jigsaw, or at least one jigsaw.
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of these.
Yeah.
I wonder if is that a pandemic thing where...
Well, that's what I was going to say. Have they always had band jigsaws? Or, that phase probably halfway through the pandemic where everyone was doing jigsaws in the winter.
Apart from me.
Yeah. You were just watching me do jigsaws. Yeah, does it stem from that? Has it always been a thing? Because I guess they could be quite collectible as well. Because you could do it and then frame it, couldn't you? You can get those things where you can get it glued or resined in place to make it a picture. But yeah, I just thought, everyone's got a jigsaw. That could be, again, something that maybe just people collect.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, last up then, we have got our Ready to Mosh recommendation for this week. And for this week, we have chosen Devastator.
Yeah.
They've been mentioned a few times on the podcast previously when we've seen them live. But if you're not familiar with them, they are a black thrash quartet from Derby, like all the best things are, formed in 2017. They have one album out so far, Baptised in Blasphemy, which they released in 2020, which has some great songs on it. There's the title track. Other ones that I really like, Howling Night, Worship the Goat, and Death Slut.
Yeah, all great songs. So we've seen them twice.
Yes.
I believe. So we first saw them at Mangata Festival, and we've seen them since at Bloodstock in the tent where they got a fucking huge crowd.
They did, the New Blood
They're in the New Blood stage, on the New Blood stage.
Yeah.
And the crowd they got was massive.
Yeah, I think they went through Metal to the Masses, Chesterfield Heat, I believe. Went through that route to get there. and well deserved so.
Yeah, definitely. They were a really great band to have there, and they've got a really cool kind of fan base as well.
Yeah, I was surprised how big the crowd was actually at Bloodstock. I mean, there was a lot of people watching them at Mangata. Obviously, that was slightly different because they've not got the same kind of clashes that you would get at Bloodstock. But still, yeah, there was a good crowd.
Yeah, they absolutely packed that tent out, and it was well worth the humidity and heat to watch them. They were absolutely amazing.
And they were the only band we actually ventured into the tent to see all weekend as well. So, and we took someone with us, didn't we? We were telling someone about them in the Serpent's Lair bar beforehand.
Yeah, we were talking about them, and he asked if he could tag along and watch them with us, and they instantly gained a new fan.
Yeah.
He really enjoyed them. So it's, so, I mean, we're big fans of Devastator and looking forward to seeing them again. Yeah,
they have got a couple of upcoming gigs that we're aware of next month.
Yeah, so they are playing Fuel in Cardiff on October the 21st. And then on October the 22nd, they are at Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham.
Yep, so if you're nearby in either of those places, go and check them out. And if you're not nearby, keep an eye out for where they are playing.
Yeah, they will be playing somewhere local. They seem to be getting out and about now, so...
Yeah, and in the meantime, go and check their album out.
Yeah, listen to the album. The album's really good.
Yeah, if you like any kind of level of thrash, go and check them out. You will love them.
Well, that's it for another episode. So thanks for listening. Don't forget you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Ready to Moshcast. And we're also on YouTube if you just search Ready to Mosh. And while I'm thinking about it, if you listen to this on something like Spotify, give us a 5-star review. Why not? I would.
Me too. Make it stop, Moog.